Friends, gather round because today we're diving into a dumpster fire of an idea known as Project 2025. This isn't some cool new video game console. It's a 922-page manifesto cooked up by conservative think tanks. And let me tell you, it's about as appetizing as a week-old gas station hot dog. This document outlines a plan to fundamentally reshape America. Think of it as an extreme makeover, but instead of making things prettier, it aims to concentrate power in the hands of a select few. Fun, right? Project 2025 is like that friend who shows up to a potluck with a Tupperware full of sadness. It wants to dismantle the government as we know it, gut social safety nets, and basically turn America into a reality show hosted by a sentient comb-over. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, this sounds like something out of a dystopian YA novel, and you know what? You're not wrong. But the scary part is, this isn't fiction. This is a real plan being pushed by real people with real power. So, buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to take a deep dive into the murky depths of Project 2025. We'll expose its dangerous proposals and explore what we can do to stop this fever dream from becoming our nightmare. Because the future of American democracy might just depend on it. Let's talk about the judiciary, the branch of government that Project 2025 sees as ripe for a hostile takeover. Imagine a justice system where judges are less like impartial referees and more like partisan players. That's the terrifying vision laid out in this document. Project 2025 wants to reshape the courts in its own image, packing them with judges who share their ideology. This isn't just about appointing a few conservative justices to the Supreme Court. It's about infiltrating every level of the judicial system, from district courts to appellate courts. Think of it like this. Imagine a football game where one team gets to choose all the referees. Not exactly a fair fight, is it? That's what Project 2025 wants to do to the judiciary. They want to stack the deck in their favor, ensuring that their agenda always wins, regardless of the law or the Constitution. This is a recipe for disaster, folks. An independent judiciary is crucial for a functioning democracy. When judges are beholden to political ideology, justice becomes a partisan game, not a pursuit of fairness. We need judges who will uphold the law, not rubber stamp the agenda of a select few. Project 2025's judicial overhaul is a direct threat to the rule of law and the very foundation of our democracy. Hold on to your hats, folks, because Project 2025's love affair with deregulation is about to take us on a wild ride. Imagine a world where corporations are free to pollute our air and water, sell us dangerous products, and exploit workers without consequence. Sounds like a blast, right? Well, that's the dystopian future that Project 2025 is peddling. They believe that government regulations are the root of all evil, stifling innovation and economic growth. But here's the thing, regulations exist for a reason. They're meant to protect us, the little guys, from the excesses of corporate greed. Remember the financial crisis of 2008? Yeah, that wasn't exactly a shining example of the free market working its magic. It was a catastrophic failure of deregulation, a stark reminder that when corporations are left unchecked, they tend to prioritize profits over people. And that's precisely what Project 2025 wants to unleash corporate power. Consequences be damned. They want to dismantle environmental protections, gut worker safety regulations, and basically give corporations a free pass to do whatever they want. This isn't about freeing the market, folks. It's about freeing corporations from any semblance of accountability. It's about putting profits over people, and the planet be damned. Now let's talk about something truly sacred, the right to vote. It's the cornerstone of any democracy, the fundamental act that gives power to the people. And guess what Project 2025 wants to do? That's right, they want to make it harder for people to vote, particularly those who might not vote for them. Think of it as a cynical game of keep away, but instead of a football, it's our democracy they're tossing around. Project 2025 promotes a smorgasbord of voter suppression tactics, all dressed up in the name of election integrity. We're talking about stricter voter ID laws, purging voter rolls, limiting early voting, and making it harder to register. These measures might sound innocuous, but they're designed to disenfranchise voters, particularly minority voters, low-income voters and young voters. It's like setting up an obstacle course on the way to the voting booth. Sure, some people might be able to jump through all the hoops, but many others will be left behind. This isn't about securing elections, folks. It's about rigging the system in their favour. It's about silencing the voices of those who disagree with them. The right to vote is under attack, and we can't let them get away with it. Section 5, a power grab expanding federal authority and eroding liberties. Hold on to your tinfoil hats, folks, because Project 2025's plans for federal authority might just send you down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. This document lays out a vision of a more powerful, more centralized federal government, one that encroaches on individual liberties and state rights. Imagine a world where the federal government has more control over your life, from the schools your kids attend to the healthcare you receive. Now, I'm not saying that all government overreach is bad. Sometimes we need the feds to step in and protect our rights, especially when state governments fail to do so. But Project 2025's vision of federal power isn't about protecting our rights. It's about consolidating power, about imposing their ideology on the entire country. They want to weaken the separation of powers, erode the checks and balances that keep our government in check, and basically turn the federal government into a giant, unwieldy tool for their own agenda. This isn't about effective governance, folks. It's about power, pure, unadulterated power. And that's a dangerous game, no matter who's playing it. Section 6, Families Under Fire. Project 2025's impact on American homes. Now, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart, families. Not the picture-perfect Norman Rockwell kind, but the messy, complicated, beautiful tapestry of families that make up this country. Project 2025 might claim to be pro-family, but their policies tell a different story. This document is packed with proposals that would directly harm families, particularly those who don't fit their narrow definition of what a family should be. We're talking about attacks on LGBTQ+ rights, restrictions on reproductive healthcare, and cuts to social programs that families rely on. Imagine a world where your right to marry who you love or to make decisions about your own body is dictated by the government. That's the kind of future that Project 2025 envisions. They want to turn back the clock on social progress, to impose their narrow worldview on all of us. This isn't about protecting families, folks. It's about controlling them. It's about imposing their values on everyone, regardless of our beliefs or our circumstances. And that's a recipe for division, discrimination, and a whole lot of heartache. Section 7, Fighting Back, Defending Democracy in the Face of Project 2025. All right, folks, I know what you're thinking. This is all very depressing, John. Is there any hope? And you know what? There is. We're Americans, damn it. We're not quitters, we're fighters. We've faced down challenges before, and we can overcome this one too. But it's going to take all of us working together to protect our democracy from this slow-motion coup. So what can we do? First things first, we need to get educated. Read up on Project 2025 and its insidious proposals. Share what you learn with your friends, family, and that weird neighbor who always wears a bathrobe outside. Knowledge is power, folks, and we need to arm ourselves with information. Next, we need to get organized. Join a local activist group, volunteer for a political campaign, or donate to organizations fighting for our rights. There's strength in numbers, and we need to build a united front against this assault on our democracy. And finally, we need to vote like our lives depend on it. Because guess what? They kind of do. We need to show up at the polls in droves and elect leaders who will fight for our values, who will protect our rights, and who will defend our democracy from those who seek to dismantle it. Section 8. A call to action. The future of American democracy is in our hands. We're at a crossroads, folks. The path ahead is uncertain, fraught with danger. But amidst the storm clouds, there's a glimmer of hope. We, the people, still have the power to shape our own destiny. We can choose to succumb to apathy, to let the forces of division and authoritarianism win, Or we can choose to fight back to reclaim our democracy and to build a more just and equitable future for all Americans. The future of American democracy is in our hands. Let's not let it slip through our fingers. Let's get to work.